I'm going to show you how to melt chocolate and then how to use it to make some chocolate curls. Now what I've done is I've broken up some dark chocolate into small pieces and I've popped it in a glass bowl over a pan of barely simmering water. The thing when you're melting chocolate is you don't want to overheat the chocolate or it can split and start to burn. So make sure that the bowl's not actually touching the water, just needs to be above it, and make sure that your water never starts to boil. It should literally just be barely simmering. Now you can see this has already just started to melt. And I'm just going to give it a stir. It's going to help the chocolate melt evenly and keep a constant temperature. You can also melt chocolate in a microwave, but obviously because you don't want it to overheat, you've got to be a lot more careful. So if you're going to melt it in a microwave, just keep it on a really low heat and keep taking the chocolate in and out and giving it a stir and allowing it to cool a little bit. If you think it's starting to overheat or anything like that, just turn off the heat underneath, because the heat that's left in this water will be enough to melt it. It'll just take a little bit longer. And this should take, a few minutes at the most. But it's better to be careful and do it over a longer time and do it carefully rather than ruin it. And this is dark chocolate, so it melts and it gives a really nice glossy finish. Milk chocolate melts to a slightly thicker consistency, as does white chocolate, and you have to be even more careful with them. And we're almost there with that one. Now this is one I just did before. Now for this one I'm actually going to make some chocolate curls for you, and I'm going to spread this over a tray. So tip out your chocolate. Be careful if you've taken it off the hob, because you've got a lot of steam built up underneath, so make sure you use some oven gloves and just carefully wipe the steam. You don't want any water to get in your chocolate because that can also cause it to seize. Tip out your chocolate onto your tray. I've just got an upturned baking sheet. Anything with a nice flat shiny surface is great for making chocolate curls. And then I've got a palette knife. I'm just going to spread this out using nice, even, kind of paddle movements until I've got an even layer over the tray. You need it to be quite thin, but when you're making the curls you want to have a couple of goes on each surface, so you don't want to be able to see through the chocolate or anything like that. So that's perfect. Now you either need to leave this cool for a little bit or pop it in the fridge until it's a little bit firmer. You don't want it hard, you don't want it back to how it was before. So let's get that one out of the way. This is one I prepared earlier. And if I feel that, it feels slightly soft to touch. Now to make chocolate curls you need to use a good knife. Have a little experiment and see what you feel happier with. I've got a couple here. I've got a palette knife which is nice and flexible. I find that quite good. And I've also got a fish knife here, which is also, it's got a little bit more of a flexible blade, and it's better for when you're holding it and bringing it towards you. So I'm going to have a go with my fish knife first, I think. As I said, just have a play, see what feels comfortable for you. You're just going to pop your knife on, holding both ends firmly, at a slight angle facing towards you. Put the blade, just getting a tiny bit of chocolate, and you're just going to bring the blade towards you like that. You can do small ones, large ones, and you can see you start to get these nice curls. Now, I'll try and do some longer ones for you to show you as well. These curls, once you've done them, put them on a clean tray or something like that and get them in the fridge to set up so they're nice and firm for when you want to use them to decorate cakes and things like that. Just facing it slightly towards me. I'm pushing the tray against myself to give me a nice firm grip. Gently dragging the knife down, and you can see there I've got some really nice longer curls. And the good thing about this method is you get different length ones. You can kind of hold the tip at one end and just turn the handle end, which means you get cone-shaped curls. You can get little ones, you get long ones. So when they're scattered over a cake, they can look really nice. Here we go, this is a perfect temperature. If it starts to get too warm, just pop it in the fridge for literally a couple of minutes. You'll find that the chocolate's coming off, but it's not curling. And if it's too hard, you'll find that the chocolate's just cracking. It's getting some really nice ones now. Milk chocolate's easy to use, as is white chocolate. You'll find dark curls a little bit harder, just because there's not so much fat in the chocolate, so it's a little bit firmer. Now if you're a little bit nervous about making these, there is an easier way. Just using one of these swivel vegetable peelers that you might have to do carrots and things like that. And I've just got a block of chocolate. I've literally broken this straight off a block of milk chocolate. I've let this sit out the fridge and become quite warm. You need it to be quite soft to touch, but not melting. And then I'm just gonna, as if I was peeling a vegetable, peel curls off the chocolate. Let's show that one to you so you can get nice little curls just like that. They're not going to be as long and as fancy as those ones, but this is great for kids if they want to decorate something. This is a really easy method for them to use. Let's have another go. So just gently applying the same pressure, gently pulling it down and pulling off nice little curls like that. So that's how to melt chocolate safely and carefully and how to make chocolate curls.